Joining us now from the White House is Austan Goolsbee. He's the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. Austan, good to see you again. And, you know, about an hour ago, I was talking to Wilbur Ross, the billionaire investor, who says that tonight he wants to hear specifics from the president, specifically about the budget deficit. Is the president going to tackle the deficit head-on in this speech?
Yes. Obviously, it's not his budget. That comes out next week, but he's going to preview the budget. And there's not going to be any question at the end of tonight that the president's very serious about addressing the fiscal challenges that face the country and have faced it for many decades. But the main theme of the night is going to be winning the future and getting the economy growing, which is what's going to get people back to work. Now, one component of that is addressing long-run fiscal issues, but it is also making investments in those things that keep us competitive, like the education of our kids, like research and development, like the infrastructure of the country and things like that. So I think you will see a broad message from the president.
So that's going to entail then more public spending in several areas in order to boost competitiveness. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Well, I think you're trying to put words into my mouth.
Okay, well, that's why I'm asking you.
I think the president has outlined. Well, we'll see what's in the address. I think everybody agrees on both sides that for the fiscal situation facing the country over the medium run, we need to make cuts. The question is, where do you make the cuts? And if you start making the cuts in those areas where we need investments to keep the country growing, I think you're making a terrible mistake. I think the business community is clearly in that space too, wanting the focus to be on growth and competitiveness.
Growth and competitiveness, but they do talk about cuts, and what I mean by cuts, I mean corporate tax cuts. You hear big business all the time saying that the United States has the second highest corporate tax rate in the world. Is Obama going to address in some ways that angle to boost competitiveness?
Well, you know, the president's open to all different ways to boost competitiveness. He has said publicly many times that we have a high corporate tax rate and we don't collect a lot of revenue because we have a lot of loopholes and carve-outs, and that he would be open to broadening the base and lowering the rate to make American companies that are competing with companies from abroad more competitive in the international space. So he's certainly open to looking at that.
Austan, it's John Erlichman. We just got the results of an exclusive Bloomberg poll. Talk to investors around the world, really, and find out how they feel about the president being pro-business, anti-business. 45% say he's finding the right balance, but there's still 41% who see him as anti-business. I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Well, you know, I saw your poll. I saw that there was an improvement from the last poll, that the majority of investors were now expressing some confidence in the American economy and in the administration. And look, I think that comports with what I hear talking to a lot of small businesses, large business people around the country, that there is a growing sense of optimism about the prospects for 2011. We added 1.3 million jobs this year. We need to add more than that. The president's focus is how do we win the future and how do we get the economy growing so that we start putting more people back to work.